All right, you guys, I hope you're having the best day of your life. I know many of you are struggling to lose fat and specifically your man boobs. It's frustrating. I get it. I've helped over 1,300 people change their life, lose their man boobs, and transform the way they're living. And so I wanted to share some things in a quick training that are going to help you. And I know will help you if you just implement some of the things that I am sharing today. So there's two critical mistakes that you guys are making when you're trying to lose your man boobs. One is you're eating too little of the right foods. And two is you're eating too much of the wrong ones. You're getting stuck in this cycle where you're continuing to try these fad diets because you get a quick result. You're seeing the scale go down a little bit. You're seeing the weight drop a little bit, but it's not helping you along the way. A lot of you are doing like intermittent fasting. You're skipping meals. You're doing keto, and you're seeing a kind of a quick result. But you can't continue to do that. It's a red flag when it comes to our eating. It's not something you can sustain for a lifetime. And it's not going to help you shrink your man boobs. It's actually inhibiting you from making a long-term successful way of living. You will never get the body you desire by doing it this way. It's actually an approach that's backfiring on you, and it's making it harder for you to get to where you want to be. And so these are just a few of my men that I've been helping. And you can see how quickly they're losing their man boobs and they're losing their guts. Russell here, this is literally a couple months, you guys. Steven, this is 2 weeks. Look at the shrinkage here, guys. Tyler, same thing. 2 months right here. It's amazing the transformation that takes place when you're fueling your body, you're doing it right, and you start breaking out of this cycle that's killing you. So what happens when we're under eating the good foods? When you don't eat enough of the nutrient whole foods, you guys, the protein, the vegetables, the carbs, the right carbs, your hormones are taking a major hit. You guys have all heard about low testosterone. It is a real thing, and it's affecting you more than you think. And your nutrition plays a huge role in your testosterone. So when we're eating the right amount of foods and the right foods, our testosterone will actually increase. Our body fat will decrease. Those things work together. Okay, so every time you're lowering your calories to get a result, you hurt your hormones. Your cortisol levels go up, your metabolism drops. We lose muscle mass. Muscle mass is what makes up your metabolism. And so you have a metabolic rate of that you do nothing all day, your basal metabolic rate, your resting metabolic rate, you do nothing. That's like Netflix and chill. You're going to burn that many calories regardless. So if you have 1,600, a metabolic rate where you're burning 1,600 calories a day, but you continue to lower your calories, you continue to just do more cardio, those things, that metabolic rate will drop. And so the goal is that we increase that, and you increase that by putting on lean muscle tissue. The goal is always to be able to eat more food in the future, not eat less. All of you want to have a strong metabolism so you can eat more food. Food's amazing. We want to enjoy it. We want to fuel our bodies. But we got to get out of these bad cycles of eating too little, because all it does is result in being hangry, you're overeating, and then it turns into this guilt and shame thing. So raise your hand if you've done that, where you're doing the intermittent fasting and you don't eat the first half of the day. You have this good intention. I get that. And you get to supper, you eat a good supper, still there, but then you make a quick trip to the fridge because you're like, oh, well, I haven't eaten all day, this, and eat a little bit, and then it's back to the pantry and the fridge. And pretty soon you've blown out your whole evening because you can't control it. And I hear this more than anything from men. And so this cycle happens, and then you get up the next morning and you feel guilty about all the crap you ate the night before. So you think the offset of that is to not eat again the first half of the day. But then the same thing happens that evening, and it cycles and it cycles, and it creates this really poor relationship with food when food is actually our fuel. It's our driver into fat loss. It's our driver into looking and feeling and toning up the way that we want to look and building that muscle. So we have to get out of this guilt and shame thing of undereating. So what happens when we then overeat the bad foods? Look at this picture here. This is outstanding, right? We have both almost the same amount of calories, 1,600 calories. Look at this small amount. So a lot of people I talk to, they're like, oh, I don't eat much. But they're actually eating a lot more. You start tracking this and you'll see you eat a lot more crap, a lot more calories than you think. This is the same amount of calories, but you start breaking down the protein, carbs, and fats. This is what it looks like. The volume is bigger, so it feels like more food because the volume of it is, but it's way less, and it's the things that power our body and get us the results. And so when we start lowering that processed food, the refined sugars, all the crap, the inflammation in our body goes down. okay? Our body becomes much better at storing fat when we just continue that cycle of eating crap, okay? We have uncontrolled cravings, and then we don't get the results we want, so our motivation drops. We're not inspired to make the change. We lose muscle, so then we look in the mirror and we don't even see what we want. And you can see how the cycle continues and continues and continues. There's consequences to everything we do, guys. And so when we continue this poor relationship with food, we're under eating, which then causes overeating and binging. And we can't even make that connection in our mind, and we can't even own up to that fact. And a lot of you are overweight, but you don't think you're eating that much, and you think you're eating a lot better. And you need to actually look in deeper to what you're doing, because you do not gain weight by not eating a bunch of crap. So when this cycle continues, it just gets harder and harder for you to lose the fat. We don't want that. We want to break you out of the cycle. We want to make a transformation in your life so you can actually have great energy. And the consequence is always low energy. It's poor sleep, where you're always tired, but then you sleep like crap, and that makes you more tired, and it's another cycle. We have poor recovery when we do get to the gym, but then you get so sore and you don't recover that you don't go back to the gym for 3 days. That's another bad cycle. Then we have a poor immune system, then you get sick, and then you don't go to the gym, and then you don't eat good, and it creates another cycle, right? We have a low sex drive, which that kills our confidence. None of us wants to say it's another bad cycle. Then you're not motivated to do anything, and you can see how all of these things run together, and you might be feeling this way right now. The chances are that you are, if you're watching this video. And so what I want to do is help break you out of this cycle. And we do that just by one thing at a time, and it builds your confidence, and it starts this amazing transformation in your life. And it's so much more than just how you look in the mirror, but that is part of it. But when we start changing one little thing and we build that momentum, you can start seeing and building that confidence as a man again, and you'll see this true transformation start to happen in your life. But it can happen with something as simple as your nutrition. So what's the real fix? This little meal right here is literally a meal I had eating out the other day. And I don't eat out a ton, but you can eat out healthy if you actually choose to. So if you want to lose your man boobs, it's not just about starving yourself into results. You cannot starve yourself into results. It's not about just doing more chest workouts or endless cardio, because none of you have that amount of time. Most of you are very low on time. So we have to make this time efficient for you. We have to structure out your day on how you can eat within your work schedule, and your traveling, in your family life, and how we can actually make it work. It's about fueling your body the right way, changing our mindset and framing the way we look at food. We have to make up our meals of protein, carbs, and fats. We can't keep cutting out entire food groups and thinking that's going to be the way we can live our life and the way that's going to get us the results. All these food groups were made for a reason. They were made for us to take in the right amounts, the right ratios for you, so you can get the results. So we have to make the choice to do it right. We have to fuel our body, and we have to start weight training 2, 3, 4 days a week, preferably the 3 and 4. But even if it's 2 to start, we're going to get a result from that, because you're probably not doing that in a structured manner anyway right now. And so we can start getting you a result by just building this structure, building this plan out for you. That's the real fix. So we start doing this basic breakdown. The real results last a lifetime if you do it right. If you've been on this cycle over and over again where you continue to try to lose the weight, we need to do this one more time, and it'll be the last time. So we buy into the long game of this, and we're doing it the right way, and we learn how to eat for your goals. That's something that I see a mistake along the way for people all the time. They get stuck in their plateaus, and they wonder why they can't break out of it. And I've lost 80 pounds, but now I can't lose this last 50 or 40, whatever. And it's because we're not making the change into the right way. So we have to start making that adjustment, making that change, and being humble enough to actually make the change and reach out for more knowledge and help so you can get there. Because why sit there and spin your wheels and waste months not getting the result? Like if you already are putting forth effort, but you're not getting there, make the change. Quit wasting your time. We need to have protein at every single meal, guys. And we cannot do this one meal a day thing. We have to eat throughout the day, so we're supporting our metabolism, so we have satiety, so we're not hungry, and then we binge eat. So we need protein at every meal. This is like our eggs, our ground beef, ground turkey. Obviously, we want to try to go lower fat on like ground beef. We don't want to be buying like 80-20. Ground turkey, steak, like sirloins are wonderful. They're lower in fat. Chicken, fish, those are a great protein sources, guys, every single meal. Carbs at every meal as well. We want to pair carbs and protein together. They do two different things. And so we need them working together so they can get the most out of each other. Okay? Potatoes, rice, oatmeal, fruit, vegetables, sourdough bread. Those are wonderful carb sources that we should be sticking to. Remember, if you can buy these things without packages, that's always the easiest way to be like, well, I don't know what to buy. Buy whole foods, things that aren't in packages. Okay, that's always going to be your best bet. Fats at every meal as well. Your fats are mainly going to come from your meat sources if you're eating right. So your eggs, the egg yolk is fat. The beef, the steaks, that has fat in it. Now, if you're having like chicken, fish, that has less fat in it. So you're able to like cook with butter at those meals, right? You can have an avocado, wonderful fat source there. So that's how we start constructing a full day of nutrition right there. You guys, it's simple, but it also, if you're wanting a deeper goal, you're wanting to reach it faster, we can get very specific on this. And that's how I helped like those men at the beginning, is I got very specific on their nutrition. And there you could saw how fast those results were happening for them because they got structured and specific. So if you want help getting very specific, you're tired of spinning your wheels and you want the result faster, just reach out to me. Go back into my DMs and shoot me a message and say, I just watched your game plan video and I want help locking in on a deeper level. And we'll get very specific on a plan specifically for you so you can lose your man boobs, you can regain your confidence, and you can transform the life that you want and start living beyond average. You guys crush the rest of the day. We'll see you later.